Hello and welcome to actioncorp TV. My name is Pet Computer. Actually, my name is Chris, and tonight's just going to be me and the Pet and Craig in the director's booth. We're going to have a short show tonight, just 20 minutes long. We don't have a whole lot of content, so we're going to just kind of spread it out a little bit and see what comes of that. But first, I just wanted to talk briefly about the Pet Computer here that's sitting beside me. This is Craig's Pet that he got in Indianapolis. He won on eBay recently. For a really good price. It's one of the first computers Craig ever used. Really great, all 32K of it. And we knew it was going to have a debut on the show eventually, so here we thought we'd bring it out today. Since I'm all out here by my lonesome, we thought we'd bring it out and flaunt it a little bit. It's a fun thing. He hasn't programmed anything on it yet, but we'll see what comes of that here real soon. The first thing we wanted to talk about today was, or tonight I should say, is there were some new screenshots for Panzer Dragoon Orta, which is the new Panzer Dragoon game made by Sega for the Microsoft Xbox. This is the first Orta game since the last one that was made on the Sega Saturn, and these new screenshots are truly breathtaking. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of those at first. I don't know a whole lot about Dragoon, unfortunately. I know it's a really popular game, and that it's been out for quite a while, or that when it came out on the Saturn it was heralded as a great shooter, but I never really got a chance to play it, unfortunately. But these new screenshots are just amazing. Let's take a look at the next one here. What I find particularly, what I'm particularly pleased about is not just how much power that the Xbox is pushing as far as polygons and stuff, but this is more attuned to Sega's quality of overall game, the presentation of the game. I mean, lots of great colors. The designs that they use for the dragons and the riders and the characters in the game are truly, truly amazing. Let's take a look at the next one. I mean, again, fantastic vistas here that you're seeing the dragon rider as she. This is actual gameplay footage. This isn't a cinema sequence. This is actual real time. You know what an in-game shot might look like. You can actually see the what's coming out of a dragon there. These are they have sort of like a homing shot that they do, so you can target multiple enemies and then shoot them, so forth. And that's what you're seeing happening in this shot. This here appears to be a boss stage. You're fighting a boss at the end of the level, and I mean that's one ugly boss. I gotta tell you, the big green tongue sticking out there. But I mean, just look at that. It's just beautiful looking. I mean, this game has got a lot of people who have always, until recently, been pretty negative towards the Xbox, really considering it. They're saying, well, I'm going to go out and buy an Xbox just for this game. So Sega's commitment to Xbox development is coming through really well. This is another great sequence. Almost certainly has to be an in-game shot, but I mean the quality of it, I mean, practically looks pre-rendered. I mean, the dust being kicked up from the ground, and the I mean, just the overall look of it, and the draw distance goes way off into the distance. It just looks truly, truly beautiful. Let's take a look at the next one. Again, talking about draw distance, look at that. I mean, levels are huge. They're massive, and they're not, I mean, they do have a fog effect. I mean, this is a common trick you see in video games where they use a fog off in the distance so that, you know, they can come to a point where they don't have to draw any more polygons. But I mean, look at the draw distance in that, and the amount of detail. It's just fantastic. I mean, I'm really blown away by the look of the water. It's great. What about the next one? Here you go, some more of the same level. The side of the cliff textures look really great. I really love the textures of this game. Again, that all goes back to what I'm saying about the quality that Sega's putting in on the overall game design and the look of the game, and they pay a lot of attention to that. I mean, I'm sure this game will play fun. Hopefully, it'll play fun. But there's no denying the amount of graphics, the great look of the game. It's just makes you want to play it. I'm not sure. Is that all of the shots we had? Oh, well, here was one. This is the last one, I think. Again, this is an in-game shot. Can you believe this? This is just the camera's off, not behind the player, but up above them. But this is, I mean, beautiful looking. The dragon's wings extended out there. They have a kind of a sheen on them. And then the water below them, I believe that's water with the reflection. Just awesome. Truly awesome looking. I'm just really excited about this. And I'm glad that we know somebody, Sean, who has an Xbox, because this almost certainly is going to be one that he needs to bring in and show when it comes out not too long from now. So, Sean, if you're watching this, make sure you either rent or buy Orta so that you can bring it in, and we can all take a look at that in motion. Now, I was going to show some videos of it, but unfortunately didn't have time to get those, but I promise that it does look equally as impressive in motion. But those screenshots, very rarely do games really look fantastic in stills. A lot of times you see the game in a still and you say, oh, that looks okay, but not real that great, but you see it in motion and it looks 10 times better. Well, that's a game right there that just looks incredible in stills. So hopefully we'll get a chance to look at that real soon. The next thing I wanted to talk about tonight was that Apple has made a deal with Sun recently to start porting StarOffice to OS X. Now this is a big deal because recently Microsoft has been a little bit upset with Apple's promotion of OS X and in particular the less than substantial sales of their Office for OS X, which by the way is a fantastic product. Office for OS X is really great, and Microsoft spent a lot of time developing it, and they did a really good job, I have to admit. But OS X adoption has been slower than Microsoft expected. I think it's still great. I mean, I think they've got like either 10 or 20% of all Mac users already switched to OS X, and according to Apple, that's one of the fastest new operating system adoption ever. So it's not that they're going slow, but Microsoft wants Apple to promote OS X faster, and then here goes Apple. Not only do they have the Switch ads out, but now they've got this thing where they're partnering with Sun to get OpenOffice so that they're not so reliant on Microsoft Office. Not sending a particularly good message to Microsoft right now. I wish they wouldn't do that. I mean, it's kind of a catch-22. They've got to be nice to Microsoft in some respect, and so that they can get these packages to continue to come out. But at the same time, they are kind of a direct competition to Microsoft. But SunOffice does offer Apple an opportunity to have a choice on the Mac platform for Office applications. They have their Apple Work Suite that they give away with new Macintoshes, and it's a good software suite. It's compatible with Microsoft Office documents, Excel documents, Word documents as well. But it's not as featureful. It is a kind of Office Lite, so to speak, and they really need a real workhorse of an Office available on the Mac, and that's what Microsoft Office is for OS X. But now here's StarOffice coming along, so maybe they can offer a little bit of competition and maybe give Apple not so much reliance on Office and Microsoft. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, early reports are that Sun is going to try to port StarOffice to OS X before the end of this year, at least in some sort of beta form. But don't expect the great Aqua user interface elements to be implemented right away. One of the big things about StarOffice is that it has a kind of unique look and feel that's consistent across all platforms. Well, I'm sure Apple's going to want to push to have Aqua implemented in that, so that probably won't happen right away. So there you go, StarOffice for OS X. Hopefully we won't see that too long, and then give us Mac users a choice. Speaking of Switch ads, there was a particular Switch ad that was shown at the Macworld keynote not too long ago that isn't available online for download, but is part of the stream that you can watch of the keynote. Luckily, I was able to get my hand on it, and it doesn't have just an average user. It has someone you might recognize. Let's take a look at that.
You can make art, send messages, you can write letters, you can do your bills, you can communicate, play music, watch movies. Apple. All you can do with the parfait is eat it and poop it out. I rest my case. The computer is better than the parfait. And this parfait is good. My name is Will Farrell. And I'm a porn actor.
As you can see, that was cut right from the Macworld Expo. They showed that right at the beginning, right before the keynote when Steve Jobs stepped out. But I thought that was pretty clever, and yeah, sort of funny, but it's porn actor. I mean, what can you say? Since I am all by myself tonight, let's not transition away from Mac just yet. You know I'm a big Mac fan. So let's talk a little bit more about something that I know a couple of the other actioncorp guys have been interested in, and that is making DVDs in the application iDVD on a Mac. I've got some video clips that show what it's like to make a DVD, and I have to tell you, I don't think there is an application on the PC that makes it this simple. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first one, and I'll describe what's going on as it's playing. What the guy's got here is he's got a default setup using iDVD, and he's going to take a few QuickTime clips and just drag them into the window. Now these are DV movies that he's got, imported on his Macintosh from his digital camera. All he simply does is drag them in, and the moment you drag an image in, you can move it around however you want, and then pick any particular frame from that video to be sort of the starting point for what you click on in the menu. Because that's basically what he's doing right now, is he's making the video, or making the menu for the DVD. But what also he's doing is that once he's taken that clip and dragged it into the window, iDVD in the background starts the process of converting those videos into MPEG-2, which is the format that all DVDs use. So that's kind of going on in the background. You don't see that. And that's part of what makes these iApps so great, is that in the background, these things all happen, and in the background you don't see a lot of the work being done. All you have to do is focus on how you want it to look. The next clip shows what's the new feature, and you might want to turn the volume down a little bit because it's kind of loud. It's called motion menus. And this is a new thing in iDVD 2. What the guy will do is he'll push a button, you'll hear some music, and you'll see notice that the background moves, and also his video clips play in his menus. All he had to do was just push a button, and he enabled motion menus, and made that happen. He's going to show off here in this video clip a couple of themes. These are the themes that come with iDVD. Here's another one, might be good for weddings. I'll be quiet for a moment so you can hear the audio. Sports-related one. Really neat, and so simple too, because all he has to do is drag his video clips in, pick a theme, and he's good to go. Here's a nice quiet theme. Let's go ahead and look at the next video clip. What I usually do is I make my own custom motion menu. Rather than choose one of the pre-defaults, you can use ones that you make in iMovie, and that's what you're seeing here. A guy's got a video clip, he puts it into iMovie, he picks his fade-in, fade-out transition, and he applies those, sets the number of seconds. iMovie, another great iApp, only available on the Mac, and makes editing videos ridiculously simple. But you can see he's adding a fade-in, fade-out transition at the beginning and end of this little clip here, and hopefully he'll do that in a moment here. And then you'll see him play the clip, and then what he's created is a nice 20-second long bit of video that he can place in the background of his menu on his DVD, so that he doesn't have to use one of these standard simple-looking DVDs in the background. You can have this nice, cool-looking video going on in the background on his menus of his DVD. So really quite nice, and I've done something like that on a couple of DVDs I've made not too long ago. The last video we've got shows someone making what is called a custom theme. Not only can you make your own custom motion menus, but you can customize the theme of the look in the way of what the buttons are shaped like and where you can position things. You saw earlier that the guy was dragging in the video clips and they were just being placed automatically in a nice symmetrical layout. But let's say you want to be a little more picky, where you can pick a background image, you can change the font style of the text, you can actually take and move the text wherever you want it to appear. You don't have to be locked into a rigid template if you don't want to be. If you want to be creative, you can change the whole look of your DVD just by selecting a few simple dialog boxes. Again, like you can see here, he's moving the clips around in whatever fashion he wants within the available space allotted on a TV screen. So you really a whole lot of flexibility in iDVD to make DVDs like you want, but yet without all the hassle. So there you go. There's my little short how to make a DVD in iDVD. There's a lot more to it. You can also make slideshows simply by dragging a folder full of JPEGs onto the disk and have them automatically do transitions between them with music. It's all simple and great. I mean, this is one of those reasons why I think that if you're interested in making this kind of stuff, I mean, the Mac is really the best way to go, because it's the only place where you're going to find apps like this that are so simple to use and require so little effort to just spend 30 minutes or an hour and you've made your own DVD. So The next thing we're going to talk about real quick here is The Time Machine was released recently on DVD, and I got a chance to look at the DVD. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the movie, but I did want to mention some of the things I thought about on the DVD in particular, some of the special features, for example. They had a pretty good little making-of featurette, pretty much standardy fare, where you've got, like, you know, the actors talking about their roles in the movie and so forth. I'm not real fond of those kinds of featurettes, but it did have one, and it was all right. It did have some nice stuff from ILM in there, where they talked about, you know, what it took to make some of the special effects taken, you know, and some of the computer graphics reels that they show. I thought those were pretty cool to see. What was really interesting to me, though, was that there was a deleted scene that was included in the movie, which was not so much a deleted scene as an alternate opening for the movie. Now, I didn't think this movie opened particularly well, because it sort of showed our time traveler as a sort of bumbling, forgetful scientist. You know, you didn't really think that he was this great, you know, great thinker or great mind, because he was so caught up in this, you know, relationship with his girlfriend. You didn't really see any of that. But the alternate ending, or the alternate opening, I should say, on the DVD portrays the star of the movie in a much different light, as a real serious thinker who's trying to protect new ideas, and you know, and you can tell that he's particularly smarter than a lot of his colleagues. And I don't know why they didn't use that particular scene in the new movie, or in the original theatrical version of it. But they had that on there. It also didn't include, and I wanted to show this, but I didn't have time, is that if you've ever watched the trailers for the movie, there's a scene in the trailers that doesn't appear in the movie, and it doesn't appear on the DVD special edition. And that is, there's some sort of scene where there's these, he makes like a third jump in time, and there's these weird looking, like, blue-shaped buildings on a seaside shore. For some reason, that doesn't appear in the movie anywhere, but it appears in the trailers, and I was hoping it would appear on the DVD, and it doesn't. So who knows what that's all about. But overall, if you like the movie, it's a good popcorn movie. It's a good spend your 2 hours one evening and enjoy it kind of movie. And the DVD doesn't offer a whole plethora of special edition in the way of special features, but does offer a couple of nice little things, in particular the alternate opening to the movie, which I enjoyed much more. The next thing I want to show, I think we have just enough minutes to do it, is the opening to Metroid Prime. I don't think we've ever had an opportunity to really show this on the show. If we did, I apologize, but I wanted to show this once more because this is one of those titles we're particularly looking forward to. Let's take a look. Looking good. Metroid Prime comes out for GameCube not too long from now, so be sure to watch for that. That's all the time we have for today's ActionCorp TV. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you next week at 9 p.m. Saturday. Thanks for watching.